Good morning, everyone. How are you? Much love from a very dark Edinburgh. Feels more like autumn than spring. It's very kind of foggy and hazy and quite chilly. But, that's fine. And I'm quite grateful for this long weekend. So I'm off on Monday, as many of us are. And I'm also off on Tuesday. In fact, it's my birthday tomorrow. So I kind of feel like the whole of the UK is off for my birthday. I just thought I'd come on and share a little bit about my experience yesterday. So yesterday, many of you will have seen in my post that I went on a day's training, and the focus was about kind of more authentic and genuine communication and expression. There was embodiment, there was somatic experiencing. And I was really looking forward to it, but at the same time, definitely felt a little bit nervous and a little bit anxious about it because I didn't know the facilitators. I didn't know anyone that was going. I was going on my own. I didn't know, well, I kind of knew what to expect, but you never really know till you're there, especially with people that you don't know who are facilitating a training or a course or a workshop. So I know that I woke up in the morning yesterday feeling quite activated. I could feel my nervous system reacting. My heart was racing a little bit. I felt a little bit anxious. And for me, it meant my chest got quite tight as well. And so I did some lovely practices in the morning about self-compassion and grounding myself to get myself ready for the day. And just accessed my toolkit. What do I need right now so that I can get the most out of this day, which may be a little bit kind of activating and triggering for me. And that really got me ready for the day. So that was great. So I went to the training and I got there, and I sensed that as soon as I got into the Salisbury Centre, in some ways there was a sense of calmness and peace that came over me because it's a centre that I use all the time and it has such a beautiful energy. But at the same time, I could feel that anxiety kind of bubbling up a little bit again, especially as I started meeting people who were coming along to attend. They were all so lovely, but it got me really anxious. I felt quite vulnerable. I felt quite exposed, and I started worrying a little bit about what the day would bring. So we started the training, and the facilitators seemed really welcoming and very authentic, and I was grateful for that. And also the group itself, everyone was really open and lovely, and you could feel that there was others that also felt vulnerable and also were nervous and not sure what to expect, and that really reassured me, and it made me realize I'm not alone. So I kind of dived in, and I admit that there was a few moments where I definitely pulled back. I put in place my very kind of clear, compassionate boundaries, so where I was kind to myself, but also wanted to do that in a way that came from a place from the heart and from love, not in a reactive way. So the facilitators had provided this wonderful space where people could go if they felt that they wanted almost like a little timeout and remove themselves, where you could just say, okay, I'm pulling back, I need space for me. So one of the first exercises was going around the room and saying your name and getting to know people, and there was touching was an option, so you could hug people and get to know them. And in that moment I felt really activated, and for me, I was just an awareness that right now I need to put my boundaries in place. I'm not quite ready for this. It was a bit too soon, and I could sense that I wouldn't have been authentic if I'd gone around the room, and I just did not want to put myself out there in that way. That wasn't a genuine, authentic interaction. I thought that was really important. It's something that's really important to me. So I went into the kind of timeout area, and that was really helpful. I even went out into the garden, actually, because the Salisbury Centre has a gorgeous garden, and I went out barefoot and put my feet on the ground and grounded myself, took a few breaths and felt re-regulated and reconnected, and then came back into the room. And for the rest of the session, I really I just gave myself as fully as I could. I embraced lots of different practices and exercises, some things that I'd never experienced before. I got to know some really beautiful people and had some really powerful moments, one of which I'm so aware is turning into quite a big and a long post, but one of which I really want to share. So as many of you know, I had surgery last year. I had complications. It was a really tough time, and in many ways it was a gift because it allowed me to realized the importance of offering very kind of bespoke services to people and working with trauma, and recognizing also my own needs and what I need to work on. And yesterday there was one practice where we were in a trio, and each person had an opportunity to share something, while one person offered touch if you wanted it, and the other one listened. So it was really powerful. And I happened to be in a trio with two people that I felt very comfortable with and safe with, and felt very held by, and I'd connected with during the day, particularly one of them. And I shared my experience of going through surgery, and I felt my nervous system get really activated. I got really shaky, my voice started trembling, tears came, and I realized and I acknowledged once again that there was still a part of me that had not released that fear, that anger, that sadness of what my body went through after surgery. And there was almost like an anger at my body of, why couldn't you just be okay? Why couldn't you just heal quicker? Why couldn't I just move on? And why at times now am I still activated, even though I feel that I do all the work. You know, I do the embodiment work, I do the somatic work, I do the mindfulness, everything that I feel I need to do, and it works, but clearly something is still in there in my body. Anyway, so I expressed that, and I was able to talk about it, and I felt so held and heard. And at the end of it, I had this real calling to go out and go into the garden and just scream. And that's exactly what I did. I ran out into the end of the garden. Thank goodness Salisbury has a big garden. I was barefoot. It was pouring with rain. And I took a moment. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to scream. And then it just came out. And it was a scream. I think I've not screamed like that in years. And it was just this most wonderful release. My feet were on the grass. I screamed. I then held my heart and tears came. And it was just such a gift. And in that moment, I was reminded how powerful it is when we are heard, when we are witnessed, when we connect with our bodies and our heart, and we let it out. We let it out. We don't hold on to it, whatever it is that does not serve us. So yes, yesterday was a super powerful experience, and I just really felt I wanted to share that. As many of you know that have worked with me, or even if you follow me, being authentic and honest is really, really important to me. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I really wanted to share that experience yesterday. Yes, it was not easy for me. Yes, I felt vulnerable. Yes, I felt challenged. Yes, there was even moments where I thought, do I really want to go? But I set my boundaries. I took care of myself. I prepared myself in advance, which gave me the strength and the anchor to get through the day. And I really immersed myself in the experience and allowed myself to be vulnerable and look at the result and how much I got from it. So I'm just incredibly grateful. So thank you so much to the facilitators. Laurie and Emma, you guys were really supportive and held a really nourishing space. And I think it wasn't an easy task with that many people, and I thought it was great. And thank you for all the participants that attended, because I felt they were there and they were genuine and they were authentic, and that was just a beautiful thing. So yes, that is my post. It's a very long post, and I thank you for all of those that listened to the end. Wishing you a beautiful Sunday. I'm gonna have a bit of a break from my Koa business for the next couple of days, because I've got a bit of time off, as it is my birthday tomorrow, and then I'm off Tuesday, but I will check my messages and emails on and off. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I hope the sun is shining where you are, and take care.